When you're faced with a conflict, there are 5 main conflict styles that people will fall into. It can become extremely frustrating when you're faced with a style that isn't the same as yours. In this video, we're going to look at what those 5 styles are and a couple tips that go with each of them.
We're a mother-daughter mediation team, and our Carrera Solutions channel is dedicated in helping you become the leader both you and your workplace deserve.
For the latest content, tools, and advice, hit that notification bell so you can be the first to know when we release new content.
Let's get started.
The 5 different conflict management styles that we're going to be going over today are based in the Kraybill research. Now, these styles have been adapted through different research projects over the years, but it really falls into these 5 different styles.
So the Kraybill style is based on 2 different scales. The one scale is based on the value that you put on the tasks, and the other scale is based on the value put on the relationships. So as we go into each style, you will see where it sits on the axis based on the value on task and the value compared to relationship. The first style we're going to look at is the competitive style. Now, looking at the graph, you're going to see that it has high weighting on tasks, but a very low weighting on relationships. So what occupation would this be beneficial to have? In the competitive style, it's more of your life safety management, where you're looking at military, fire, police, anything that is an emergency type of situation. So you have to make decisions quickly, which is one of the benefits. But the drawback is if somebody else has a difference of opinion, you may just go ahead with your decision and it may be damaging to the relationship. So high task, low relationship.
The next conflict management style is the avoiders. All right, guys, I know you can already picture someone. These people are low on both scales. They're low on the relationship and they're low on the task because really they're just trying to avoid all of the conflict that they possibly can. So when they're faced with something, these are the people that shut down and become more reclusive. You're not going to see them. You're not going to hear from them. One of the benefits of this is they do save a lot of time and a lot of energy because they're just not buying in and getting on board with anything. Now, I'm sure that you can already see the downsides of this. The downside is they really are not getting done what they need to because by avoiding these conflicts, there's actually not a very good dialogue happening. So there's not a lot of learning and there's not a lot of progress. And through that, the relationship also is suffering because instead of having those conversations and developing those relationships through the hard times and the good times, they're pulling back. So you really don't get to know them. You don't get to know their strengths. And really, they're not able to contribute the way that other people are within the workplace.
So the compromisers, they're sitting right in the middle. Their focus on tasks is medium. Their focus on relationships, medium. So that's that dot right in the very center. They're the person that, when a meeting happens and they say, hey, we need a volunteer to coordinate our potluck. And the eyes will go around the table and they know eventually this person's going to put their hand up because they want to ensure that relationships are preserved, that the event goes forward or the task gets done. They will put their name forward to take on that task or the event that nobody else really wants to do. They all want to attend, they just don't want to coordinate. So the benefits of it are things get done. Because you've got a name associated to it, that task will be completed. It will help enforce the relationships that are happening within that task or event. Now, the drawback to that is they do become overwhelmed. They do become burnt out when everybody else is leaving the office at 4 o'clock or shutting down their computers at the end of the day. They're still working because they've taken on so much. They have their own tasks to do, plus all the special projects that are given. So they become resentful after a certain length of time that, why is it that I'm always the one taking this? and they will silently quit everything at once.
Yeah, these people are more easy to be manipulated. So if you see that person that is constantly, okay, I'll do it. Hey, can you help me with this? Nobody else is willing to help me. Okay, I'll give you. They're kind of that sacrificial lamb that keeps offering themselves up for the betterment of everyone else, and they really start to suffer because of it. Our next conflict management style is the accommodators. These people are low on tasks but high on relationships. So they will absolutely promise you the moon, but they won't deliver. So these people get caught in, they care so much and so deeply about the relationships that they will go above, they will go beyond in what they're willing to say that they can commit to in order to stay on your good side. They really care deeply about the people that are around them. However, the tasks actually are not that important to them. So they really, at the end of the day, don't wind up being able to commit to the things. Like Jeanette was previously talking about, where the compromiser will stay and put in the extra time and effort in order to get these projects done. This person won't. So they'll really, really want to do it, but they won't actually accomplish the task at the end of the day. Now, before we get into our last style, let us know in the comments below if any of these resonate with you, or if there's somebody in your life that you're like, oh yeah, I know that person. Let us know which one really resonates with you. And after this last style, we do have a couple things that you need to remember before you start pointing people out in your workplace.
For our last conflict management style, and the one that we should all be leaning towards, is the collaborator. A collaborator is high focus on tasks and a high focus on relationship. So when looking at making a decision, how do we go forward with this? The collaborator will solicit the information from their team members, from management, from subject matter experts. They will gather all the information that they can to ensure that when they do make a decision on how to complete that task, that it's done with their best ability. The other part that they ensure is that the relationship is held intact. So what that means is, whether you're an avoider, a competitor, compromiser, accommodator, they want your opinion, and they will provide an environment that will help support getting that decision. Even from those avoiders, they'll get their opinion. So looking at the benefits of collaboration is, you get the buy-in from everyone around you. Your decision making is made with as many people as possible. And then with the relationship, you're developing the relationships with all of those individuals as you're making the decisions. So no matter what style you have, leaning towards the collaboration model, the drawback, yes, it does take a bit more time. So if an emergency happens and a decision has to be made, you may have to still use the competitive style, but if you do have the time, which most of us do, we say we don't, but we do, is use the collaboration model. So when you're looking at your conflict management style, there's also another element that they look at, is whether you're in conflict calm or you're in conflict storm. So what that means is, when a conflict first happens, we say that's conflict calm. You can have one specific style. Now, when you start going into the storming part of conflict, hairs are standing up at the back of your neck, your face is going red, your ears are starting to burn. That's when you may shift your style. So some people may shift to competitive style, they may shift to avoider style. So if you go online, you can find the Kraybill conflict styles.
And we're going to link that in the description below for you.
And you'll see where they will refer to the calm and the storm different styles. The second part of this is, when you're looking at how do you react in a conflict situation in the workplace, it may be different than how you react in a conflict situation in your personal life. Why is this? It's because of the weighting that we put on the relationship. So in your personal life, you will probably give a heavier weighting to your relationship, which may shift the style that you have. Also knowing that depending on the position you have within the organization, it may require you to take up a little bit different style, and it may start leading to more of a competitive compromiser style. You'll just see how different things shift. Where do we want you to go? We always want you leaning towards the collaboration style.
If you've gotten something out of this video, take a second to hit that like and subscribe button so that you can receive our latest content. And remember, do something today that will change your tomorrow.
Till next time.